area from head to toe. We're going to start in child pose and kind of just go straight into class. Um, we'll bring the knees out either to the right or to the left if we're feeling any tension through the hips. If we need a little bit more attention brought into the low back, we can bring the knees a little closer together and just exploring that child's pose that feels best this morning. So hips, knees out, low back, knees together. And welcome to everyone who's just joined in. Good morning. We're starting in child's pose. All right. So just shaking off any tightness through the shoulders. We're going to go on and open up through the back, nice and easily here in child's pose. So to start, making sure that the sit bones can press into the heels, and then we could reach the arms forward, never minding if the arms can reach all the way towards the front of the room. We want to bring that attention first into the seat and then reach out from and just scanning the terrain of the body, observing the space around us. Whether that's the sounds of the house, maybe any noises outside, or even the flow of breath moving in through the nose and exhaling all the way out through the mouth. We'll take a few more breaths just like that this morning. Filling up through the low back, through the sides of the spine. And exhale, surrendering a bit further into our mat. If this feels uncomfortable at any time, feel free to curl the toes under and just press the hips back there. Maybe even lifting the seat off the mat a little bit and finding more of a puppy dog in this position. Take 3 more inhales wherever we are. Beginning to set an intention for our practice this morning. And whatever that intention may be, assuring it serves us in and out. So if that's a sense of gratitude, maybe patience, whatever that thought is, we'll always come back into this space anytime the mind wanders. All right, and on that next exhale, keeping that thought in mind, we'll bring both hands right alongside the knees, rolling up one vertebrae at a time. So we have a little roundedness through the spine. Then we're going to go in and iron that out. Roll the shoulders back. Exhale, we'll bring the hands right behind us. We could bring the fingertips into the mat. Go on and open through the chest, head to fall back, jaw to soften. Take an inhale in through the nose. And exhale all the way out through the mouth. All right, we're going to do that 3 more times. The way we'll get out of this is sweeping the arms out to the sides of the body. So creating a circle sort of around our body and then reaching the arms forward, sinking into child's pose. All right, just with the breath, rolling up one vertebrae at a time, finding some spinal mobility, rolling the shoulders back, squeeze the shoulder blades together as we open a bit further through the chest. Take a moment, inhale. Exhale, let it go as we empty out through the diaphragm, falling into child's pose. Maybe closing the eyes this morning as we Continue to move through these motions. And last time, loosening out through the low back, reaching out through the crown, letting the head fall back. Take that inhale. And on that exhale, we're going to go in and slide onto the belly. So we're going to bring both hands to the top of our mat and then lift the sit bones off of the heels and pull the knees into about hips width distance. We'll take a nice big breath. We have this sort of modified push-up position. We're going to hug the elbows into the ribs. So go on and scoop the elbows in. Go on and pull the shoulders back, open the chest towards the front of our space, chaturanga all the way down. All right, so we're gonna bring the arms out to the right and to the left, opening a little through the back, right? Go on and maybe shake out through the shoulders. We're gonna take a nice big breath, press the chin into the top of the hand. Doesn't matter which hand is on top. And we'll go on and bend into the knees, loosening out through the low back, swaying the legs out to the right and to the left. Just depending on how tight the low back may be, we might want to move through these very slowly. Just getting to know what the body needs and continuously providing that. On that next exhale, we'll go on and slide the right arm out to the right side, letting the legs fall into the mat. And then the left hand is going to come right alongside the heart, right next to the left side of the body. All right. The right ear will rest into the mat. And then we're going to crawl the right fingertips a bit further out of that right side mat, enough to slide onto the right side body. Then go on and let the head relax again into the mat so we release through any tension of the neck. And we'll take a nice big breath in through the nose with that left hand to support the rest here on the side body. Go ahead and bring the left leg up into the air, rolling out through that ankle joint. Just loosening out through the leg a bit this morning. We'll take one more big breath, still keeping through that nice long line from right shoulder down to the toes. Then we'll go on and press that left foot behind us. So a bit further behind that right leg, or behind that, that right leg. We'll take a big breath, kick the left arm up into the air, and now we could roll out through the left wrist. And reversing that rotation there. All while still getting that stretch through the neck. We might feel it through the trapezius there, from the ear to the shoulder. And on that exhale, going to bring the forearm over the low back, opening that chest straight over to the left side of the rim. We can close the eyes here, take a nice big inhale in through the nose. Exhaling out through the mouth. And one more time, a nice great big breath all the way in. And exhale. All right, we're gonna slide right back onto the chest. Take a moment, check in, right hand alongside the chest. We'll crawl the left fingertips out to the left side, pressing over into the left side body now. We're going to bring the head into the mat. Right, this right hand is keeping that support of the body there. We'll kick the right leg up into the air for a moment and just roll out through that ankle, loosening out through that joint. And notice which side might feel a little tighter, and just keep that information as we progress through our practice. On that next breath, we'll place the right foot behind the left leg. So we have a little bit more support. Now we could lift the right arm up into the air, rolling out through the wrists. Are we holding any tension right between the hip and knee? We can loosen that out. We can bring that right forearm over the low spine. Try to stack the shoulders over one another. So we're finding a nice even line from right shoulder down to the left, letting the head relax, making sure that we're not holding any tension. So scan the body again for a moment, and seeing any adjustments we can make just to make this a bit more comfortable. It's all about comfort. Some days we push ourselves, and in some flows we might find a challenge, but it's all about comfort here. All right, we'll slide the navel, the chest, right into the mat. All right, we'll find locust pose. So here in locust pose, we'll bring the nose into the mat. All right. Then we'll lift the nose a few inches off of the mat while still pressing the chest away from the mat. We'll roll the shoulders back, so we're squeezing the shoulder blades into one another. Neck is in neutral. We'll lift the hands off the mat and then go on and lift the feet off the mat. Okay. Go on and pull the navel in as best as we can. So pulling the navel into the spinal cord, into the tailbone. Take a nice big breath in through the nose, out through the nose. 3 more of those. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. And 1 more nice big breath, biggest we can find. And exhale. All right, we'll place both hands right alongside the chest bones. Right, bring the tops of the feet into the mat and press back into child's pose. All right, so we may begin to feel a little bit more room here. We're gonna open up a bit more through the back. So we're gonna come onto those fingertips. So I like to call these TP hands or TP fingers. We'll go on and roll the shoulder blades apart. Take a nice big breath in through the nose and exhale out through the mouth. All right, we're gonna get a nice side body stretch. Take a big breath in through the nose, walk the hands over to the right side of our space. Maybe we lace the hands together and bring the left hand over the right if we can find that space. Still pressing that left sit bone into the heel and heel into the left sit bone. 1 more breath as we expand out through the diaphragm this morning. And exhale. All right, bring it into center. Take that great big inhale and exhale over to the opposite side. We can bring the right hand over the left hand if that feels great. You could roll the shoulder blades apart, really finding any organic movement throughout your practice today that truly serve you. Letting go of any judgment, any comparison, and just finding wonder. And explore. We'll meet into center. And we'll slide both hands alongside the temple, meeting into our tabletop position. And we'll find that good measurement by just bringing both hands under the shoulders and knees under the hips. That's about it. We'll find our drop of the belly, lifting through the chest, and we'll pull the shoulders back as we had in locust a bit earlier. And on that exhale, let's get into the shoulders, roll them forward, pull the navel in, round through the spine, tuck the tailbone under, meet the chin in towards the sternum. We'll continue that motion, roll the shoulders back this time, reach the heart towards the front of your space. And maybe close the eyes and continuing that movement in and out. You got 4 more. Noticing that rhythm of breath we're able to find here through this movement and really pressing Every ounce of breath left in through the diaphragm, through the lungs, all just by connection and awareness. All right. Once we're through here, we'll go ahead and curl the toes under, lift the knees off the mat, and drive the tailbone towards the back of our space. So we're pressing away from the top of the mat, almost like a floating child's pose. Take a big breath here in through the nose. Exhaling out through the mouth. And we're generating a little bit more heat, and we'll continue that that flow of breath moving in and out, either through the nose or through the mouth. Either way, we're still going to find a little bit more of that warmth. On that next breath, eyes to the top of the mat. We could step, we could walk, we could hop, but I want you to bring both feet to the top side edges of our mat. All right, so we have some good space, letting the hamstrings breathe. We could bring the hands a little further forward over the top edge of our mat or directly on top. We'll go ahead and just shake those legs out a little bit. Feeling some space form through the inner thighs. We'll take a nice big breath as we open up through the back. And exhale, go ahead and let the head relax. So right in between the biceps. Right, we're gonna bend into that right knee. And we're gonna lift that right heel off that mat for a moment. We'll bring the right fingertips into the center of the mat so we have some good support. We could use our TP fingers, or we could place the palm directly into the mat. We'll take a nice big breath and reach the left arm up into the air, but notice what began to happen to the hips if they began to fall out of line. Try to bring them right back. Take a nice big breath in. Reaching the left arm a little further back to deepen that twist. Maybe find a bind, bringing the left forearm over the low back and reaching into that little hip crease. We'll take one more breath in. And pull that left shoulder back, exhale. All right, finding our forward fold. Take an inhale here. Letting the head fall into the mat, framed out right through the biceps. And we'll bend into the left knee this time. Lift that left heel, and those 5 toes are pointing directly forward. We're gonna bring the left fingertips into the center, top center of the mat, reaching the right arm up into the air. Notice what happened to those hips. And we'll hold it here for a moment, just broadening straight across that chest. Maybe bring the eyes into that thumb if you'd like. Forearm over the low back. Maybe grabbing into the inner hip crease. We'll pull the shoulder back, inhale. And exhale. Finding our forward fold. And heel toe, those feet together. They can also come about hips width distance if that feels a bit greater. We'll bend into the knees for a moment. And just let gravity take over. We could bring both hands to the elbows, the head to relax. We could shake it yes, we could shake it no. Take a nice big breath all the way in. And exhale, release, bringing the arms into the ground. Rolling up one vertebrae at a time. And remember, we can always keep those knees bent to provide a bit more ease through the low back as we roll up and find that nice long spine. So we're reaching the crown all the way up into the ceiling. Take a big breath, reach both arms up into the air. Grabbing onto the right wrist and exhale, pull over to the left. Inhale, bring it in. Grabbing onto the left wrist, exhale, pull over to that side. Big breath, inhale, reach through the fingertips, elbows into the ribs, squeeze those elbows in towards one another as the head falls back, opening up through the chest. Take a big breath, reach both arms up into the air, and we'll bring both hands onto the shoulders, elbows come out to the right and to the left. All right, so here, we're gonna go on and move through one arm. We'll start with the right arm, creating some circles and still keeping that nice long spine. So reaching directly out of the hips, out through the crown. We'll go on and reverse that rotation. 10, 9, 8, 7, where's our breath? 6, 5, there we go. 4, 3, 2, and we'll go on and reverse, or opposite side. 10, 9, 8, 7, so keeping that nice long spine. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go on and reverse that. Just breaking apart all of that tissue that may have clumped together. And if you're a side sleeper like me, this might feel really, really, really good. All right. On that next exhale, we're gonna go on and move forward with both arms. We got 5. Try to bring those elbows into one another. 4. Really opening up through the back body. 3, 2, and 1. Go on and reverse that. 5. Front of the shoulder. 4. There you go. 3. We're gonna lace the hands together. 2, and 1. Bring them over the low spine. Opening up as much as we can through the chest. Take a big inhale, reach the chin high. And exhale, hinge forward. Bring the pinkies towards the front of our space and go ahead and shake the head out a little bit. We'll take a nice big breath in through the nose. And release the arms forward fold. All right, so we had that wide-legged standing twist. We're gonna bring the feet up. We're gonna bring that same twist in, but it's gonna feel maybe a little more constricted. If you need to, bring the feet out a little wider. We'll bend into that right knee. We'll lift the right heel, all right? Then we'll bring the right hand across the left ankle. So we could bring the top of the hand over onto the ankle bone where we feel that ankle bone on the left. We'll bring the left arm up into the air and reach through the gaze. And take a nice big breath in through the nose. Finding that stretch through the glute all the way down, maybe bringing the forearm over the low back. Last breath here. Pulling the left shoulder back, exhale. All right, we'll meet into that forward fold, exhale. Bending into that left knee, lifting the left heel, left arm across that right ankle, right arm reaches up into the air. Take that big breath as we open. Hold it for a moment, inhale. And reach the forearm over the low spine, last breath. And forward fold. All right. Go on and let the head relax, coming back into that intention we set for ourselves this morning. We'll take a big breath all the way in with that thought right here at the forefront of the mind. And exhale. All right, halfway lift, first flow. Take an inhale, long spine. We'll slide our right foot to the back of our space and crescent pose, bringing both arms up into the air, lift through the fingertips. Relaxing through the shoulders, sink a little deeper into that front knee. 2 more times, inhale, maybe soften out through that lunge, then pressing a little further forward. Try to get the knee and the left hip in that same line. Exhale. All right, 1 more breath in, hold. And we'll go on and step to the top of the mat, Tadasana, bringing both hands alongside the body. All right, so we've got a little balance there. Reach both arms up into the air. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, take a big breath, lengthen through the spine, and we'll slide our left foot to the back of our space. Hold it here for a moment. Bring both arms up into the air when you got it. And sink a little deeper, driving the left hip as forward as that right hip. Maybe soften out of that lunge. And exhale, press a little further, finding that warmth there through the hips, through the quad, and only going as far as that knee is allowing. We don't ever want to go any further than where that ankle is. Take 1 more breath here, hold, and we'll step up to the top, bring both hands alongside the body. All right, and we're going to add on to that. Reach both arms up into the air. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Go ahead and slide our right foot to the back of our space. Finding that balance, bring both arms up into the air. Take a big breath in. And on that exhale, bring both hands into the mat. Right hand under the shoulder, left arm lifts up into the air. Take that big breath and notice that that left hip might have begun to shoot over to the left side. Try to still keep that squareness of the hips, those nice long lines we've been creating from. Take a nice big breath in. 3 circles to the back, open 3, open 2, and 1, reversing that rotation. Open 3, 2, we'll bring both hands into the mat, right? Stepping to the top of our mat, but we're gonna kick our right leg over and high. So we have a nice standing split. Fingertips can come into the top edge of our mat. Notice if that right leg swung, or that right hip or right leg swung open. Try to point the toes down and the heel is high, the toe is low. We could find some buoyancy through that left leg and then find some flight. Float the fingertips off the mat and reach the arms either back, or for more of a challenge, maybe reach the arms forward. We'll take one more breath here. Standing into Tadasana, exhale, both feet come together. All right, inhale, reach both arms up into the air. Exhale, forward fold. We'll do that on the other side. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, left foot to the back of our space. Right arm reaches up into the air. Take that breath and notice what that hip is doing. If we could keep it center, take a great big inhale, 3 circles to any direction. All right, notice where that breath is. This is a twist, so it might have gotten a little shortened. Just bring it back. Taking your time, we'll bring both hands into the mat. All right, we're gonna kick our left leg towards the front of our space, but off that back mat first. Hold it here. Heel is high, toe is low, and go on and find some buoyancy through that right knee again. All right, we don't want to overwork that leg or strain those muscles behind the leg. Lift the heart high. Spine is parallel to the ceiling above. We'll reach the arms towards the back of our space and reach to the crown. Eyes are right under the nose. We'll take a great big breath in, straighten out, Tadasana, both feet come together. All right, bring both arms up into the air, lift through the fingertips, and exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. We'll plant both palms into the mat this time, stepping back into our plank position, shifting our weight forward, hug the elbows into the ribs, chaturanga. We could always drop the knees as we had initially and go ahead and curl the toes under, finding our first down dog. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and pedal this one out a little bit. Every time, really though, I meet down dog, I always just pedal it out. Always feels good to me. Find what feels good to you. All right, and we're gonna move through that flow and add some vinyasas in, adding those chaturangas, those planks to chaturangas. All right, we'll take a nice big breath. Right leg kicks up into the air. On that exhale, swing our right foot to the top of our mat very slowly with control. Crescent pose, bring both arms up. Then we'll go on and place the left hand into the ground, open through that chest. Take a big breath in. And place both hands into the mat. Kicking our left leg up into the air, big inhale. Float the fingertips off the mat, exhale. Holding here, one more breath. On that exhale, runner's lunge to plank position. Inhale. Shifting our weight forward, chaturanga. Lift the heart up and curl the toes under, down dog. All right, left leg kicks up into the air for that same flow, foot to the top. Crescent pose, rise. On our exhale, right hand into the ground, finding that twist. Big breath in. Exhale, hands into the mat. Kicking our right foot off of our back mat, float over the top edge of our mat, reach the arms back. Inhale or forward, and exhale. Bringing both hands into the mat. Find our runner's lunge to plank. Inhale, shift our weight forward. And chaturanga. Lift the heart up and curl the toes under, down dog. All right, we'll do that one more time. Right leg kicks up into the air. I exhale, foot to the top of the mat, and I challenge you to close the eyes. Inhale, reach both arms up into the air. Notice that little wobble. Take a moment. Exhale, left hand into the mat. Find a bit more support, and then place both hands into the ground. Kick our left foot off of our back mat. Warrior 3, hold it here. Fingertips can float off that mat. Take your time. All right, runner's lunge. Plank position. Come back into your intention, chaturanga. And down dog. Left leg kicks up into the air. Exhale, foot to the top. You could close the eyes again. Inhale, reach both arms up. And right hand into the ground. Opening up through the chest, take a big breath in. And then ground both fingertips, or both sets of fingertips into the mat. We'll kick our right foot off of our back mat. Reach the heart over, float the fingertips off. Inhale. And exhale, runner's lunge. Plank position, inhale. Chaturanga, last one. All right, down dog. Holding here, take an inhale. And let that go. All right, we're gonna get a little into the hips. Right leg kicks up into the air. And press the heel into the glute. Hold it here, go ahead and open up a bit more through the hip. Stacking that right hip as best as we can over the left hip. Taking one more big breath in through the nose. On that exhale, go ahead and swing the shin across our mat and then slide the left leg. So let the toes slide a little closer to the back of our mat. Right? Then we could bring that leg, that right leg into about 90 degrees if that feels okay. Or we could have an angle from the wrist down to the left hip bone. Right? And then go on and press the sit bone into the mat, and then go on and lift it off. And continuing to just floss a bit through the stretch. All right. We'll take a nice big breath in through the nose. And then exhale, meeting through a nice square hip. So right and left are in that same line. Go on and bring both hands alongside or in front of the shin as best as we can. Reach the heart high, squeeze the shoulder blades a little closer into one another. And take a great big breath in. Out through the mouth. Softening out through the hip flexors. One more breath. Opening through the chest, reaching through the crown. Then exhale, crawling forward as we bring a bit more weight into the stretch. We could use the forearms to support the torso, so we're not bringing so much pressure into that leg. Right? We could also press the hands a little closer towards the top of our mat, and we have this sort of angle from the fingertips through the shoulders down to the back. Right? Or maybe even reaching the arms even further and falling into the mat. We don't want to fall into the position. We still have some ease brought into the position. And we'll take 3 breaths, 3 big inhales here. Letting that pulse Move through nice and fluidly and slowing everything down. All right, we'll slide both hands right alongside the shoulders or right in front of the shoulders. We're gonna go ahead and curl the left toe off of the mat and slide the knee in towards the right heel. All right, so we have the left knee sort of right under the left hip. We're gonna go on and use the hands as some good support, lifting that right shin out of pigeon and go on and press that leg back, right? Pressing the heel in towards the ground and finding that nice long spine. Pull the navel in, take a big breath, kick our foot off of our mat. Holding here, right hand is right under the shoulder, left arm reaches forward, finding some balance. Holding here for 10. Finding that breath, pressing the shoulder away from the ear, pressing the hand into the mat and lifting from that space. 5, 4, 3, 2. We'll bring the left hand into the mat, right under the shoulder, curl the left toe off the mat and reach the right arm up into the air. Modified side plank. All right, find that fist through the right hand, rolling out through that wrist. We got 3, 2, 1, reverse. We got 3, 2, 1, kicking our right leg up into the air. And we'll go on and bring that right arm in to grab onto the top of the right foot, opening up through the chest. All right, seeing if we can still lift out of that shoulder, of that left. One more breath in through the nose. And right foot to the top right side edge of our mat. Right, both hands come right under the shoulders. We're going to curl the left toe under and lift the knee over that mat. Right here, this is lizard. We have many different variations of this position. So if you'd like, we could always keep the knee dropped. We could press the right hand into that knee. We could maybe even bring the left forearm into the ground. Maybe again, press into that knee, or we'd like to find a twist. My favorite is bringing both forearms into the ground. Some days, of course, are a bit greater than others, but today, hopefully our flexibility is good there on the hips. We'll take one more breath wherever we are. And exhale. All right, we'll place both hands into the mat and press back into downward facing dog. If you'd like to take a flow, by all means, I won't and cannot stop you. Kick the leg up into the air, left leg, and we'll sweep the shin across our mat. We'll slide that right knee down, that right foot a little further back, and then go on and find that floss. We could press the glute into the mat and then press the heel towards the ball of the foot, or press the hip towards the ball of the foot rather. And continuing that motion until we find that good spot, that sweet spot we could melt into for a few moments. Lifting through the chest, take an inhale here. Exhale. Once more, nice, great big breath all the way in. And then hinging forward to your degree. Either forearms come into the mat, maybe we reach the fingertips forward. And just listening to what the body needs here on this side. And 3 more inhales. Making any subtle adjustments needed. And breathing through the entire back. One more inhale here. And exhale. All right, we'll place both hands under the chest, under the shoulders. All right, hold for a moment. Go on and curl the right toe under, slide the knee under the hip, and we could touch that right or that left foot with the right knee, swing that left leg to the back of our space and press that heel towards the back of the mat. Right, finding that stretch there through the calf. Take a nice big breath, pull the navel in, lengthen through the spine, lift the left foot off of our back mat. And we have that support again at that top mat through the hands, right? Just floating the right fingertips slowly off the mat, reaching forward. Holding here for 10, 9, 8, 7. So sometimes in these balancing positions, it feels like we're on top of the world's tallest building. We're just swaying to the right and to the left. Pull the navel in. Finding that support. We'll place both hands, both hands into the mat. Curl the right toe off the mat. Left arm lifts up into the air. Let's go on and loosen out through that wrist. Letting that go and reversing that. 3, 2, and 1. We'll kick our left leg off of our back mat and grab onto the top of that foot. Opening up through the chest and through that entire left side, really, from shoulder all the way down through to the top of the foot. Last big breath in, finding lizard left foot to the top side edge of our mat. Then we'll bring both hands right under the shoulders, lifting that right knee off the mat if you'd like, or bring that knee down. All up to you, and find your variation. Explore. Bring the left hand into the knee, maybe bring the forearm into the ground. And finding just a bit of that restorative stretch here. One more breath, wherever, however we are. And exhale. All right, we'll slide both hands right under the shoulders. All right, curl the right toe under, downward facing dog. All right, we'll take our last pedal here, sway out to the right, sway out to the left, and then bring the eyes right into the middle of our mat, right into center. Walking the hands, walking the feet into that space, crossing one leg over the other, sitting the sit bones into the mat. Right. We'll go on and sort of butterfly the knees out to the right and to the left, bringing both arms up into the air, reach through the fingertips. Bringing both hands to the back of our space, placing the palms into the ground as best as we can. Let the head fall back, maybe the sit bones float over the mat. The knees come out to the sides of our mat. Take a great big inhale as we open through the frontal body. And exhale, let that go. We'll sit the sit bones into the mat. We'll cross the legs in the opposite direction. We'll take a great big inhale, open through the chest, let the head fall back, lift the sit bones off the ground, knees out to the right and to the left. Take an inhale. And let that go. All right. Ooh, my hips popped. We'll extend the legs forward. Bring both arms up into the air. And nice and slow, one vertebrae at a time, slide the back into the mat. A nice full body stretch, reaching the arms overhead, stretching out through the fingers, stretching out all the way through the toes. And we'll go ahead and pull the knees into the chest, squeezing in tight. All right. Arms come out to the right and to the left. We'll take a great big inhale in through the nose. And on that exhale, go ahead and let the legs slide over to the right side. All right, we're gonna make any adjustments necessary. If we need to maybe tuck the hip in a little closer to the center of the mat, if that feels a bit better, or maybe lift the right shoulder up or left shoulder up, whatever we need to do. And then we're gonna bring that left arm over to the right hand. So we're resting here on the side body for a moment. All right. Notice if that left shoulder is coming into the left ear, try to pull it away, still reaching out through the crown. And then we're just gonna take a big, big breath, opening through the back. Left arm sweeps past the right arm, past the chest, exhaling fully into a twist, right and left. All right, take an inhale, bring the left arm up. And exhale, hands to close. We'll do this 2 more times, opening through the back, hold. Exhale, left arm sweeps past the arm, past the chest. Maybe the eyes follow the thumb if that feels okay on the C-spine. 1 more time, inhale, reaching the arm up. And exhale, hands to come together, opening up through the back, shoulders down. And exhale. All right, right hand can come over onto the left hip and pull that left hip towards the direction the knee is pointing into. We'll take a great big breath in and exhale. All right, slide the low spine into the mat, pull the knees into the chest, massage that out a little bit, maybe create some circles, stir that pot a little bit here. And then we'll find our arms to come out to the right and to the left. Spinal twist to the left side. And taking those tucks or those wiggles, those movements into that perfect spot there through the spine all the way down. And we'll take an inhale, reach the right arm up into the air and bring both hands to close. Right, pull the right shoulder down, making sure that we're not squeezing or hugging the neck. We'll take a big breath, opening through the back. Then exhale, swing the right arm past, eyes to follow the hand. So we get that complete twist. Then inhale, reach in the right arm up into the air. Exhale, left hand, right hand to touch. Pull the shoulders down, open through the back. Inhale. Exhale, sweeping the arm past the collarbone, eyes to follow. 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale. Opening through the back. Inhale as best as we can. And rinsing out entirely. Exhale. Left hand can come onto the glute, pulling the hip towards the knee. Shoulders still grounded. Inhale. And exhale. All right, sliding the low back into the mat, knees into the chest, adding anything more you wish to find here in your practice, and then release into Shavasana for a nice breathing exercise. We've been finding the past couple weeks, inhaling into a comfortable number in class to keep everything nice and easy. We can move through the count of 5. If you'd like to explore higher numbers, by all means, explore. We'll take a nice big breath to just start. And exhale to let go. All right, starting with 5, exhaling through 5. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Soften, exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Giving yourself the permission to fall a bit further. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Big breath, open. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, open through the collarbone. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, soften through the muscles of the face. 3, 2, 1. Last breath. Inhale, soften through the throat. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, let go. 5, 4, surrender. 3, 2, and 1. And just as we began scanning the surface beneath us, observing the space around us and the breath moving through, we'll take 2 more inhales here. And starting our day through a space of peace, space of presence, awareness, and calm. And exhale. Wiggling through the fingers and toes. We'll go on and reach the arms overhead, stretching out through the fingers. And we'll bend into the knees, sliding over to the right or over to the left, meeting fetal position. Using the arm as our pillow, holding here for as long as we wish. And in your time, we'll press ourselves away from the mat, and grounding through a nice seat, rooting the sit bones into the earth, bringing the shoulders into the sky, and then rolling the shoulders back, lifting through the arms, reaching through the fingertips. Right hand to the ground, left hand into the ear. Inhale, reaching the arms up into the air, finding that lift again through the hips. Go on and switch that out, applying a little bit more pressure through this next round. Inhale, lift both arms up into the air. Exhale, over. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale, last one. All right, we'll bring both arms over the crown, placing both hands into heart center, bowing into the inner divine, into that peace within. We'll take a great big breath all the way in. And out through the mouth, exhale, let go. Thank you for sharing your practice with me this morning. The light in me acknowledges and cares for the light that shines bright within each of you. Namaste. All right. Happy